Teach them well and let them lead the way. All right. I particularly like the lines from this song because it reminds me of what FASA means to me. To me, one of the reasons FASA exists is to create future leaders in the community. If taught well, children will pave the way to a brighter future. Hi, my name is Claudette Sambat, and I'm running to be the Vice President of FASA because I want to be part of that brighter future. I joined FASA last year as a freshman looking for a much-needed second home in a university of 60,000 people. I was just this homesick freshman who was overwhelmed with many options. I explored many different ways for me to feel a sense of belonging, and in that journey, I found FASA. Through FASA, I was able to meet so many friends, and because of the officers, I felt inspired to lead. I wanted to be an officer as a symbol of my dedication to FASA. During this year as an officer, I learned so many things. I learned how to work with people with different backgrounds, I learned how to execute and plan big events, and even the way I think about what it means to be Filipino American have changed. I love being an officer so much that I'm dreading the day where we would have to transition in the new officers. The only thing I regret about this year as an officer is that I wasn't involved in all of the events and aspects of FASA as much as I wanted to be. I wanted to know what all the officers were up to and how I can help them with their events. As the cultural chair, I was really busy with planning big events such as Filipino Night, so instead of offering my assistance, I was requesting for theirs. I knew better to bite off more than I can chew. So there I was, wallowing in regret, and then I realized I could be an officer again this year. I felt ready to take my involvement even further, so I asked myself, which position will let me be involved in all aspects of FASA? And of course, that role that came to mind was Vice President. As Vice President, my goal is to assist the leaders of FASA, not just the officers, but also the members. FASA's mission is to foster unity and pride amongst its members and to the surrounding communities. One way we strive for political, cultural, and social advancement is through planning and executing events. What can I contribute to these events? I would help the officers build their timelines, put their vision into a feasible plan, and allocate the workload, and etc. With what I've learned from planning the biggest event of FASA, which is Film Night, I am able to assist them in whatever part of the process of planning or executing they need help in. What I also want to do is nudge our members out of their comfort zone by creating opportunities for them to step up as leaders and help us with our events. I think creating committees and involving our members is a great way for them to see the potential and for them to be inspired to become leaders. I want them to make goals for themselves, and my role will be to check in on their progress and see what their next steps will be. The difference of being president and vice president to me is that as the vice president, I get to lead in the shadows. People don't seem to realize that vice president is the one that the president goes to for help. When the president isn't present, I'm willing to step in and take their place. In sum, I'm assisting everyone, the president, the rest of the officers, and even our members. I am here for all of you. My vision to create future leaders through FASA will be fulfilled if I'm elected to be the vice president. My name is Claudette Sambat, and please vote for me this year, 2015 to 2016, FASA vice president. Thank you. Questions? Julie?
You mentioned about getting other students to get out of their comfort zones. How are you going to get out of your comfort zone to be more emotionally supportive?
Like get out of my comfort zone.
Like being less critical and blunt that you can be.
You know, sometimes people need that push, and that's why I'm the sandbag to people's balloons. In a way that I'm not discouraging you to cut off your event, or you can't do this, you can't do that. It's just me telling you that, oh, you need to make a pro and con of this event before you decide to go for it, because I want you to be investing your time in something that we can all make happen. So emotionally, I know some people might be insensitive, but that's something I'm working on. If I'm blunt with you, you can be blunt with me. If you tell me I'm insensitive, I won't take it to heart. I'll take it as constructive criticism and be mindful of others' thinking or perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So in your biography here, you put that
you'd like to improve on is, or one weakness that you have is establishing strong relationships with people. So as vice president, essentially, that's really like establishing strong relationships with people, especially like with the president and with the rest of the officer board, is an essential part of the job. So how would you improve that weakness so that it doesn't get in the way of your duty as vice president and as being that support to everyone?
So how I want to fix that is through communication. Not just once, not just twice, but I'll bother you guys every day to kind of let me know how you're doing emotionally, what you need help on. And I think just constant communication and letting them know that I'm there and giving them time to just like vent their feelings without me telling you, oh, you should do this next, or oh, that's bad or anything. Just more of like just listen and not say anything.
You talked about writing more than you can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you so confident that this isn't the same situation?
Oh, okay. Biting off more than I can chew. I just feel like as a cultural chair this year, planning such a big event while being part of committees for other events, I feel like there are times where the officer burnout happened to me, and what I did to overcome it is to kind of step back, kind of reflect on why are you thinking like this, and who do you go to for you to alleviate the burnout. And knowing that now, and like having a support group, shout out to support Claudette, 2015, I think I'm not biting off more than I can chew because I have a support system. Third.
Go ahead, Ty.
Oh.
Go ahead. All right, I mean, Julie's question kind of sparked a lot of things in this room right now where, you know, it's with a different little energy now. It seems like when folks are saying, like, you know, this emotional state or whatever, I mean, it's okay. It's okay to have an emotional whatever. But, you know, saying this position is going to be perhaps the most stressful in all the chain of command. And if from what I'm interpreting from that question is like, how are you going to hold yourself together to hold everybody together? Because everybody's going to have some drama.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to have, and if you can't hold yourself together, how are you going to be able to run the organization? Where is it going to end up that everybody's going to take care of you? Because this has happened before. You know, these things that these questions kind of elicit is a way to like see where you're at. Because for right now, just based on the answers that you're having, you know, and I'm trying to say this in a nice way, in some type of constructive type of way, but I don't know, I mean, are you ready?
I thought about that a lot before even deciding. I knew I wanted to be an officer, but I didn't know what. And to say that I'm ready might not be something I want to say now, but something I want to say after getting to know what kind of drama I'll be dealing with, and like what kind of perspective I need to put myself into when talking to my officers and other people. So I think with time I'll be ready.
I mean, you only got a year. That's time. Just think about that, because, you know, from here, I feel like, you know, you will need those type of support systems.
Good, Pat, did you have a question?
It did, yeah. So looking through this, the vacancies in offices are always a cause for some concern. Probably not a big concern, but some concern. Since you're on camera and in a room with people who care about this organization a lot, can you deliver a message to the FASA community as to why they should apply for these positions to help fill them?
went to the study abroad trip with third as well. And coming back to it and kind of realizing I'm getting emotional, what our people went through and what we're still going through. I want everyone to know that we can do something, and as the Vice President, I want to create those leaders who will unite us into this goal of like making, taking away the stigmas we Filipinos have with other races, and just of people of color in general. And I think through FASA, you're able to learn all these skills that you can take with you after you graduate from college, whether you come back to FASA, be more involved or not. And it's the things you learned that makes you really uncomfortable, or the things that make you want to make change, basically. And as cultural chair, I wrote a play about colonial mentality, and people just think it's an edgy play, but to me, I'm setting a message through a play that will hopefully open people's minds and inspire them to think about what they're doing with their life and what they can do and what they're already doing well. So you guys should run for a cultural chair. Like seriously, it's really rewarding.
That's all the time we have for questions.